Right now, we're working from home, in our kitchens and on our dining room tables. What we want to do is lift everything off the table and into a successful home office. Whether you have a small or large space, we want to give you the tips and tricks to help you be successful. We're combining our shared industry expertise to help you be more organized, more productive, all while looking good. In each episode, we'll help renovate their home office workspace. Our mission is for you to be the best and most productive you, all while looking good. Hey everyone, we are here for another episode for the Home Office Success Series. Now, over here we have Niluka. Niluka, welcome.
Thank you.
Niluka,
Thanks for having me.
you're welcome. Could you share a bit more about yourself and the work that you do?
Yeah, so I'm Naluka, and I'm a urban researcher and designer, and I typically work on things to do with our public spaces and trying to design them better for work, life, play, and that includes everything from sort of micromobility and walking, cycling, trying to get our transportation more efficient. At the same time, I recently started a tech company, a mapping technology company. So we're trying to better map our sidewalks, bicycle infrastructure, and roads to make them safer. So that company that we just started is called SafeGround, and we're in the space of trying to make all types of mobility safer for everybody.
That is awesome.
In
Fantastic.
Toronto?
We're both Toronto and Waterloo, because my research is at Waterloo, but the company's Toronto based.
Gotcha. And obviously you're now working out of home. Could you share a bit more about your workspace, what it looks like, and also the environment around it?
Yeah, sure. So the workspace, I feel like, is kind of makeshift. It's a living, dining, open concept with there's sort of this nook that you're looking at behind me that's recessed a bit from the main space, and that's the space that I've stuck the office in. So just to give you a sense of what that is, so we've got, I guess that's the back of the sofa, dining, kind of a bit of a pantry there, and then I guess we go this way, sorry. Yeah, and then here's so I also have a geriatric dog. So a lot of things have recently been shifted. So my dog beds and everything have taken up a lot of space. She's needing a lot of extra care. So anyway, that's sort of her lounge bed in the background there. The back of the sofa here, and then there's a nice bright window. And then the other thing that makes this space a bit awkward is that this is the back door to the rear yard. And then they're also in this space, it's sort of become, that corner has become a dumping ground. And there's, I'm presuming that's a furnace duct or something. I don't know if you can see that in the corner. Yeah, and then, so then my space, which really just consists of this table, screen, and then this only shelf. And then I've sort of, to get a bit more space, I've stuck an extra table, which again, just has this tendency to accumulate stuff. And that's it.
Is this a rental or a
No,
home?
that's my house.
And then upstairs are the bedrooms?
Yeah, upstairs are bedrooms. The kitchen's behind there with the front door over there. And then, so the set of stairs, so that wall, this wall.
Yeah.
Behind that is the set of stairs that go upstairs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Gotcha.
And so just to get a bit of clarity, so when you come home, what do you enter through the back door? I'm assuming that's a back door to the yard?
Yeah, that's back towards the yard. No, I come through the front door.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
up the stairs or the other end? Okay.
Yeah, do you see the stairs there?
Yeah.
Okay,
Excellent.
and then the other end there is the front door.
And then there's a kitchen in there somewhere?
Yeah, do you
in
see
that
sort of
area by the front door?
Yeah, like there's a little, that
Awesome.
area there is to the kitchen.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and
So
then
there's another
that's,
door to the kitchen. Okay. And then upstairs, you just have the bedrooms, or is there a living room too?
no, that 3 bedrooms and a bathroom. And then there's a downstairs level that has the has sort of extra living space, guest room, storage, laundry, and another bathroom down there.
Okay. And you are choosing to work downstairs for what reason?
Oh, I
You
tend
have a
to
lot
like,
of bedrooms, so I'm wondering why did you?
yeah, I have another person here, so yeah, we've got that space is sort of occupied, but I choose to work. I mean, I don't like working in my bedroom. I have a giant bedroom, and at one point, you know, I actually thought, my gosh, it's big enough. Like it's even bigger than this space that I currently have for the office, but like as a separate office. But I really don't like working in my bedroom. And the other thing is now with my geriatric dog, she can't go up the stairs. So I really kind of need to be here on this level if she needs anything. And so it's everything's sort of easier just to be here. Yeah, packages arrive or whatever, you know, I'm just here.
And is the living room, dining room shared with another person as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I got a sense of what.
Nobody really uses, like, well, I don't know if you could see, but even the dining room table starts to get my office stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Okay.
mail, extra papers that I need to do. It starts to accumulate there too. So nobody really uses that dining table and rooms except for me.
So your home office, is this a recent COVID situation or?
It started a bit before. I mean, I actually think I maybe had COVID, so I had to work from home for, it took me almost 60 days to recover. So that's partly why I think it probably was COVID. So I hadn't been back at the office before the office closed anyway. So I've been here, and then I already had this as a bit of an office because I do my PhD research here, but I'd always separated the two. And now it's become this hodgepodge of everything. And so I think that that's one of the main goals, I think, in your questionnaire that you were asking is one of the problems or things I want to do. And I would say separation of, you know, work life. Like, so it's very common now. You sit here and then without almost thinking, I'll sit on the sofa or over on the corner chair. I'll sit there to take a work video call, right? Because it just seems more comfortable. But then it starts to have this bleeding effect in where I'm always checking email, doing work stuff now there, you know, or when I eat dinner. And so it's just all mashed together. So separation of, you know, even if it's the PhD from the work, from the life, all of that would be great. And as you can see, I don't really have storage. So suddenly that's become, you know, really needed. I had storage obviously at the office. And so now everything's here. I'd made a trip to the office and just brought everything back, right? They sort of gave us like 48 hours to go get your stuff. So I've just dumped it, right?
So we can certainly help with that for sure. I know I can.
That's great.
Like you said, you're open. So I'm asking a bunch of questions only so that I can, as you can tell, frame everything.
Yeah.
The room under the stairs, what happened? What's there?
The guest room?
No, under the
just
stairs.
below the stairs.
Under the stairs, below the stairs?
Is there anything below?
Yeah, like you mean, so my upstairs, and then I have stairs that go down to the basement, you mean?
Oh, I see. So there's stairs underneath.
Stairs.
Yeah. So on the stairs that go up to the second level, right? There's a mirrored set of stairs that run parallel that go to the basement, and that's the guest room and storage and laundry. And
okay, so there's that under the stairs is another set of stairs that go to the basement.
Yes.
And is that a finished basement or unfinished basement?
For the most part, yeah. It has a bathroom, guest room, and a storage room. There's just sort of the laundry area that hasn't been finished just yet.
Okay, cool.
Working on it.
Understand. And I noticed that there's another monitor behind you. Is that
No, that's, yeah, an old TV.
on? Okay, so that's a mini TV that almost looks like a monitor, but you
Yes.
still use it as
Yeah.
a TV, correct?
Yes. I don't like big TVs. I'm opposite of a lot of people. I don't like giant screens.
Well, neither do I, by the way, but I have to say every once in a while when I go see my brother in London, it's like huge. And I can be addicted, but it's
Yeah.
not, I don't have a TV. Once it broke down, I said,
Right.
I need to get another one, but I prefer them smaller too. So
In
Yeah,
terms
and I
of
mean,
the
I think this might change with COVID, right? Like I used to love going to the cinema, right? And so, you know, now maybe you start to think, oh, maybe I should invest in a big screen TV.
or a car so you can go to the drive-in.
That's right. That's right.
in terms
Okay,
of the
so
space, Niluka,
Yeah.
what do we have to work with? Is it just the space that you're in, or are you open to kind of looking at the couch and living room area behind you and kind of seemingly integrate that space as
Oh,
well?
I am open to that. Like if, I mean, I had played around at one point, uh, you know, and thought, well, maybe the TV and stuff should come over here and put the office over there or something. One of the things that I run into is, I guess because of maybe my eye strain, but I found that having my desk over closer to the window, I would have like that light source, then I have my computer monitor light source, and then obviously if I have the light box on, right? So sort of just a bit too much glare. So that was why I ruled it out, but not to say I'm not open to that. And this sofa is actually fairly new. I had a smaller, more condo-sized apartment sofa, but then my mom downsized and gave me this. It's a nice sofa. It's just a bit big. And it has this other chair piece that I put in the corner, but it's actually an L. So it forms to the corner of the sofa. So you can get an L shaped sofa out of that. But no, I'm pretty open to, you know, if there's a better configuration. At some point too, I thought maybe the dining room could be over there, and I put my desk in the dining room corner. But that didn't seem to work because the kitchen's behind, you know, the wall of where the dining room is. And so when I have had guests and things, you know, it just means you're kind of walking, everybody has to sort of walk through the office-y area, you know, to then get to the dining room. So if there's a better way, please
Gotcha.
recommend.
So let's do this. Why don't we dive right into the workspace that we have? So over here, we have the images of what it looks like that you sent to us. And over here is obviously the floor plan that you sent to us as well. Right? You can see this so far? Okay, awesome. So right now, what we're going to do is we just did a simple little mock-up of this. And we have this right here. So what you see is the stairs. It's coming down at the rear entrance through here. You have the main window on both sides, and you have. Well, I'm just gonna move that around, and then you have the. That is not the window down there. That's rather the corridor, right?
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll get rid of this, and we'll just leave that blue for now, and. Actually,
Najeeb, you have to give me back the Figma because I can't draw on the screen share.
Oh, sorry. Say that again.
I can't draw on this. Right now, you've taken over my
the screen.
My monitor. Yeah, you've taken over.
Oh,
my screen.
Can you minimize Zoom?
Well, I had you minimized. I minimized you.
Mm-hmm.
So what?
So you should be on your screen, on the Figma right now. Are you on your Figma? I see that you are.
Yeah, okay. Other than pressing escape. Okay, I pressed escape. Okay, now I can minimize you. And now I'm back to Figma.
Yep.
And whoever's speaking, I think will, okay. Yay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So
it's great.
yeah, can you, Dolores, can you go to the,
This one?
yeah,
So when you see the pencil, you'll see my little name.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
That's great. Love it.
Because all I see is Najeeb's cursor and my
Oh.
little pencil. So we're good?
yeah, we're
Yeah.
good.
Yay. Okay. And then I have to scroll back and forth to see and you eliminated one? Oh, okay. Got them spaced wide apart. So just to recap, this is more or less what you have. And then you.
Oh, so just,
yeah.
we can't, yeah, it's better if you just look at the
Floor plan.
the floor plan itself, Dolores.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. We can see your cursor now.
Okay. Because I was up here for a bit.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was just wanting to recap.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move the camera there. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can I sketch?
Yeah, yeah. Just let
Oh
me know when you're
yeah,
up here.
that's right. It was missing the desk to the right. Yeah,
Well,
because I thought, let's get rid of the desk.
Yeah, this everything is not to scale. So, but this is what you have, right? And
Yes.
then you've got a situation. And as I mentioned before, because you have a design background, then you'll hopefully be able to get some of the concepts very quickly. I think that you just need to have a design coach to help you keep focused. So that, pardon me?
I said right on.
Okay, so one of the options is to.
Oh, hold on. I'm just gonna move the camera. Okay, there we go. Yeah, just let me know when you're switching to floor plan. Yeah.
I just speak so quickly and I just so organic in what I do that I keep forgetting that I have to, like a surgeon, I have to tell you what move I'm going to make. So yeah, so certainly you can kind of replicate this quickly, but what can you see behind me?
I can, yeah. You've got a lovely horizontal shelf system.
Yeah, so because of who I am, these are cubbies and I've had them custom made for me years ago, but they're still very practical. And then, so one of the solutions, but you can buy furniture, by the way, pre-done this way, or else you can buy them separately and attach it to the wall. So one of the things I highly recommend is, because this is a nice alcove L shape, I'm thinking that one of the things you need to look at doing is using your vertical space much more than you are now, because a lot of the things that I'm seeing, the bookshelves, I'm going up to your floor plan, the bookshelves and all that kind of stuff that you have down here.
Oh, are you back on the floor plan? Okay.
I'm back on the floor plan.
Okay. Just let me know.
Here, they're starting, if I may be, I'm going to use my design language and I'm just going to be straight about everything.
Yeah, just be straight.
They look like tombstones.
Yes, they do. I wholeheartedly agree.
Okay. So I'm not, again, this is...
no, they're ugly. They stick out like a sore thumb. They're not coordinated. So, yeah.
So this is a language of, this is an exercise in possibilities and not what is. I'm never I never want to offend or insult or anything like that. It is what it is, and we want to better the situation. So if you want to use the nook, I highly recommend, I'm back on the first floor plan, Najeeb.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is so useful building cubbies, or they can be pre-built and then you just have them installed. And I have to say that this is the best way. I'm going to draw an elevation, Najeeb.
Okay.
Oops. You have to clean up that line for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's say this is your desk. He makes things pretty. I just kind of draw old school. So let's say that's a desk, and then this is the table.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to reuse what you have, but let's just say, so if you do cubbies, okay, over here.
Yeah.
So whatever you put in them already starts to look organized. And then let's say this is a side profile of another cubby. So just draw an X through it. So that would be here.
Mm-hmm.
Can you straighten that out, Najeeb?
Yeah,
Anyway.
I'm gonna have to get rid of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens is that no matter what I do back there, even when it's a mess, I just finished painting and everything, so I'm starting to unearth all my boxes. So it's still fairly clean, but nevertheless, as soon as whatever I put in the cubbies, it elevates the common to an organized, in some cases, piece of art, depending on how you stylize the cubbies, right? But this is one of the most useful things I've ever done, and that I do for executives. And then if you ever go on the website, you'll see Professor of Ryerson, who's dean, and then also a famous architect. And cubbies are just the best in the world. I am like such a superhero. So if you want to put your little babettes in here, trophies or whatever, it's amazing how much paper and everything that you can store up there, and books. And no matter what we do, everybody keeps saying we are in a paperless society. I don't believe them, because
I know, look at it. And I scan constantly.
Yeah, no kidding.
Photo scan, you know, I'm doing it all the time, and still
so do I, except I can manage to keep myself with little itty bitty pieces of paper, but nevertheless. So at any rate, if you can have a table or a table surface, and then there's the other table that's over here, if you can have them abut as much as possible. So again, I'm going to try to can you get rid of this little line? Because then there's the wall over here, right? So this, I've made this longer, but if we can get a table that spans, and then this is the side profile of the other table. So we have little legs over here. So we'll have a plethora of legs. But what you can do is that you can buy little file cabinets on casters. Yeah.
I actually have a metal one. It's up in my bedroom, but like you know that IKEA metal one. I have that.
Is it on casters? Okay.
regardless,
bring that downstairs. And then, so as I mentioned, I want you to think vertically. And gosh, if you can build more cubbies up here, more power to you. But as you can see, it just starts to lift everything off the desks and then up to the cubbies. And if you have some little, what I call R2D2s, and then you, or else even the table that you're not using as a work surface, you can put bookshelves under there, right? Open bookshelves. Najeeb, I want to scroll up to the photos. Yes, yes, yes.
Hold on.
Yes, yes, yes. So you see what you're doing over here, right? If you can put bookshelves or use this, organize this space much more cleanly.
Yeah, you're right. So that's my printer, right? So that's, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Well, I prefer to have my printer at the top. I mean, it's not as it's not. I just prefer to have it on the top so I can see what I'm printing. And then my photo is rotated here, so I don't know what happened. It seems to happen with us. But you can see you already started putting some things on the shelf. So if you can wrap yourself with shelving, Bob's your uncle. Like, it's such a fantastic way to live. Once you do need to screw them into the wall with toggle bolts. And then under here, you can wrap yourself with bulletin boards and put your stickies there. Okay. And then that could be fabric covered, like I've got. Mind you, I painted my fabric to match the walls.
Well, where do you have your fabric cover? I'm not sure I see that. Oh, is that what that is? Oh,
that's a whole bowl. It used to be fabric, and then because I'm so meticulous, I painted the fabric, but I can still stick things in it.
Oh, that's a neat idea.
Oh yeah.
What's your current, Niluka, what's your current organizational structure? Because it seems like you have books on one hand. Like I get it, like because you have like a limited surface, you're just kind of throwing it.
Yeah, so that's kind of the PhDs over there.
Okay.
And not accessed as frequently, but then everything else that's here. I also have like a, what do you call it? Like a filing cabinet crate thing, but I'm not happy with it because it sits on the floor, right? And it just is right there. So I think like what Dolores is saying, I would like things up.
Mhm.
Yeah, and one question I have is
I'm
about
going
like
back down here to the floor plan. Okay,
Oh.
cool.
what about like what's your thoughts on closed, like, so if I've got, for example, like this is like paper file storage, right? What do you think about closed cabinets or shelving so that people don't, does that just close the space off? Is that why it's
No,
is
it depends on how you are. So this version can have cabinet fronts to them, and then the little rolling things, or instead of a table, if you have a bookshelf that's about the same height as the table, that would work as well. But yeah, if you want little doors, that's fantastic. That's even a cleaner solution. But in this type of arrangement, you can have a PhD area, or you can have, the reason why I like cubbies is that people gather information, and what's useful for them is not necessarily alphabetical order. People group things and things that has meaning to them. So yeah, I would love it if you could close it up. If you don't think you're a neat, tidy person, yeah, absolutely. But like I said before, this whole thing can be, you'll have your monitor here or whatever, but this whole thing can be bulletin board, and you can wrap yourself a bulletin board and then stick and pin and whatever.
Yeah, I really like
that.
that.
You have it closed. So the other thing that would work with this, again, you roll in your chair, but how you want to close things off is a screen, and it's worth the investment to buy a screen. Oh, I'm not doing a good job here.
I know what you're
full screen. Yeah, my mouse isn't. I prefer to draw on the screen, but nevertheless, this is what we've got. And yeah,
like
so
the folding, the folding, they have like 3
exactly
panels. Yeah,
exactly. So it disappeared, and I guess it's coming back, but nevertheless, if what happens, yeah, I don't know what he's doing. So he's drawing me a nicer screen. So what happens is that, yes, great, and then you can remove that block over there. But you can see that you can move it back and forth. You can close off or slip out. I'm sure you're familiar with a Soji screen, or just about anything a screen, but a Soji screen would be lovely, right? And then what you could do to improve your living space is that I would highly recommend low shelving all the way around the room, and then you can kind of keep your layout.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot.
So see how this just cleans everything right up. It doesn't look like a tombstone situation, so we'd get rid of that. And then you might have your monitor poking through, or if you want to, wall-to-wall situations always look better. But so if you wanted to make this even wall-to-wall, that's fine. But a low bookcase situation cleans everything up, or low bookcase cubbies. I'm going to draw an elevation of that looking this way. As much as I can. So I'm looking this way, and so this is a bookcase, maybe with cubbies. Have a base, but in your cubbies you can just throw, and then they can be cupboards too, by the way.
Okay.
With little doors and that sort of thing, and it depending on the budget, you can buy IKEA or whatever you want, or have them custom. But
yeah,
this
I actually just cleaned out. I did a big purge of my storage downstairs, my storage room. Sold a bunch of stuff just so that I had money to buy stuff for this redesign. So
yeah. So the thing is that it would be a low unit, and we do this all the time. And on my website, when you see the residential lower level, the AKA the basement, a lot of people kind of have dual work situations. I've got low shelving and low storage everywhere. And then you can put a TV, you can put artwork. So you see how that kind of organizes and cleans things up quite nicely.
It does a lot.
They're all behind doors. I prefer that, actually. If you can do that, that would be great. So, and then Najeeb has a wonderful little environment. I don't see you, Najeeb, but he has low bookshelves behind him. He has a tall bookshelf, but you see how he's done symmetry, right? Bookshelf, bookshelf, low bookshelf with cubbies and baskets. So people have different ways of working, but if you have a low wall unit, you can install drawers or cupboards or all sorts of things. And then what's great about Najeeb's office, Najeeb, you can describe it yourself, but he's stylized his books and color-coded them. Can you imagine? And so when you're wanting to be on the sofa, you can do this, and you can maybe put back your L if you want to, or whatever, your little chair.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that it cleans everything up, right? And then you have the dog here with a little drama.
Well, and really the
human.
the bookshelf behind that's currently sort of housing a couple books, but the smaller TV, that was actually very temporary. It was never supposed to be there. I have the piece that attaches your TV to the wall.
If you want to do that, that's
I have all that. And
you can
that
see,
bookshelf, it was actually headed to the bedroom, and then it quickly just got shoved there, and never tended to after that, right? When you get so busy,
these are unusual times, and you don't even need to explain or apologize, because
the one thing that allows you to kind of think about is because if this is your workspace right now, the one thing you got to kind of think about is if you kind of are aware of your current setup right now, what ends up happening is because there's a lot of light coming in from over here, you're not getting flattering light for yourself, right? So it's making you look like very dark and ominous kind of point of view, right?
True.
So a few things you want to think about is because right now the camera angle is looking at it right now pretty much like this, right? So you're sitting right there, and this is kind of like your camera angle. So one way to kind of make it better is just having, like, once you have that set up, you can kind of have light coming in from just right from the corner. And once you have that light set up over here, coming from here, that it ends up being much better because it ends up being slightly more flattering and you get more direct lighting.
Curious and what that looks like. Okay, so that's the light box on, right?
Exactly. That's a light box on.
From that corner.
Exactly. Yeah. But notice what ends up happening is it still creates a bit of harsh shadow. So you want to try and look at how can you create a larger light source. So right now, what I have for myself, I don't really have a harsh shadow. It's because my light source is larger. So you can look at having like a larger, perhaps 18-inch ring light or a softbox even, because then it becomes a bit more flattering.
I also have a hook. It must have been from the former owners, but there's a hook in that corner where I could actually hang
absolutely
hanging up or something.
Yeah, and then that allows you to have better lighting for yourself.
Right.
Now,
you have to be careful what type of lighting, because sorry, Najeeb, to interrupt. As soon as you hang a light, if it has a shade, it'll be cast downward, the light. And so what we want to do is have flattering light on both sides and the front, so that you don't create shadows and what we call the hag effect.
Yeah.
In bathrooms, that's one of the reasons. Well, it's a term that lighting designers and engineers use.
Yeah.
So you need to light yourself from both sides. So even I have a lamp, and then I have my happy light that and then eventually I'll get more lighting. And then I have another halogen source. That's one of the reasons I'm looking rosy as opposed to what Najeeb is doing, is because his is totally LED warm white, Najeeb.
Yep.
So nevertheless, the theory being, you need to light yourself from as many angles softly as possible to get overall lighting, so you don't look like a hag. And that's the expression that they use. So I'm not being derogatory or whatever. And, you know, we live in a Zoom society. So if you're here and you're, I don't know where you sit, and you're Zooming and then the light comes behind you, yeah,
Yeah,
you just need to flatter yourselves. Or if you have a Zoom call here, then
it
we
looks
need to
better.
look
Yeah.
at light sources here too.
Now, the other thing
Actually,
you could do regarding lighting is if you notice your table over here, because this table and you have a cubby right above, one thing you can do is just have LED light strip around it. So if you notice behind myself, how there's my left hand, yeah, right there,
Yep.
you can see like a little bit of LED light strip. You can actually
Yeah.
change it up so it matches the color of your brand even, right?
Nice.
So
Yeah.
you can have that. And because you have the camera angle, it still can be roughly the same, but because you have this more set up, a few options you could do is, I'm just gonna go over here, is when you have the background like this, then you can kind of have it like an accent color if you'd like, if that makes sense. And then
Yeah.
that way it creates more contrast between you and the background. And depending on the type of camera that you have, it might look even better,
yeah.
right?
Nice.
So
Like that.
It's not a light source to illuminate your face.
Right.
They're almost two separate conversations.
mhm.
So,
Let's do
so
one other option
yeah.
just because we
Do you
are.
have any questions around this? I just want to make sure.
Sorry,
You get
what?
the idea, right?
Yeah, you mean or this meaning the sort of
This
area
plan.
around the office?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
No,
love wraparound situations. It's fantastic.
yeah, I think, well, I guess one question is, so the little space, it's to the left there with the duct that's boxed in.
Mhm.
Is
Oh, yeah.
there anything I could do there? Because it does kind of seem like it, well, right now it's sort of wasted space. So then of course it becomes a place where I dump stuff, but
You can put another low shelving
shelving?
table. Yeah, low shelving. Or you could put tall, but I prefer to have a wraparound situation.
Hmm.
The low shelving being the same height as the table. Tables are about 30 inches high, 29 to 30 inches high. So you can continue the wraparound situation. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Yeah. And then you can
Unless
put
if you have a budget for a custom desk, then you can kind of mold it right into there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking actually. Like, and who does that kind of custom? Like, I mean, I looked up, you know, the closet by design sort of people. Is that the kind of group that would do that? Like, just
yeah,
build?
we call that millwork, and a lot of them, there's a bunch of them that we can always recommend too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they would call that we call that millwork, but a closet company would be able to do that too, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or a kitchen company.
Or kitchen,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
So anybody that makes boxes and drawers and cupboards, anybody
Yeah.
would be able to do that. And then the different price points. So what varies is the finishes, right?
Yeah.
Or else you can get something that's pre-made and saw it down. But yeah, and also they need to make it in such a way that they can assemble it. So this would be a common top. I'd highly recommend looking at my lower level situation,
Okay.
because that was maximized for 3 kids, one husband with a large TV, and then a guest slash home office area with a rolling door, Murphy beds in there. I mean, it's like
Wow.
chocker block full of millwork in cupboards and everything, but everything is like nice and neat and clean.
Oh, I'd love
So we maximize on that. And to tell you the truth, it's worth every penny.
that. Yeah.
And then while you're doing this, then you would do the same thing here. So they have such a way of making everything off-site, and then it appears, right? And zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah. So
let's move on
if
to our
you want us to help you with that, that's fine too.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, it all sounds great, and yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
So
it requires some drawings and that sort of thing to kind of get all the details handled, but yeah.
Yeah.
So if we have the use of the dining area and everything else,
so we're on to our second drawing.
So the other thing that I was thinking here, are you, Najeeb, can you see my pencil?
Yep. On the second
I've
drawing?
got
Yep.
2 cursors going, so.
Yep.
You might want to think, again, I love wraparound situations because they just clean up a space so nicely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you might think of having a dining room table that's not round. Round takes up a lot of space. I don't know
Yeah.
how many people you have at a time, maybe what, 4 to 6, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you can,
right now it's really 2 to 3. And I mean,
yeah,
I hosted Christmas and that pulls out, right? It has 2 expanded slots. So
mhm.
I think I got 10 or 12 people.
Well, but the point being is that you can buy tables for 2 and then they flip up, the wings flip up and then
Yeah, I
make
have
it
seen that.
larger and then you can rearrange the table this way. The thing is that you need multi-purpose, multi-configurable furniture, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if you wanted storage and you wanted to build it in, you could do this and have it full height. So I'm going to draw an elevation of what this could look like. But this could be full height storage. I say full height. Don't use drywall because this can be a cabinet too. So cabinet heights are about 7 feet. And then this is what it could look like. And then this is how we draw the opening. Are you still with me, Najeeb?
Yep, I'm with you.
The little handles. And Bob's your uncle, and there you got storage. Can you get that because you know how to read elevation?
I know exactly what, your elevation.
So yeah, and then this could all be shallow, like 15 inches, and then you can put your pantry, well, you can use this as a pantry for, that's like a awesome pantry, close everything behind doors, and there's different ways of making this. This could be glass plus wood frame, it could be solid, etched glass, sandblasted glass look. So this can, these millwork can look a whole bunch of different ways and change the look completely. But here you have it nice and tidy. And then, like I said, a wraparound situation about 15 inches. Then you have your, then you can go back to having your sofa and whatever.
Yeah.
And then, well, you want to keep the sofa, but there's also lots of furniture that you could rearrange. So at any rate, that's, so you can put your office stuff here, and then you can still have a cubby above if you want, because the cubbies are the depth of a book. So they can be shallow, anywhere from 10 to 12 inches, and then this could be 15 inches, but it would step back so it's not in your face. And then you just kind of walk this way.
Yeah.
Close. So you can tidy it up, right? Or you can, or else the table can go all the way flush to the wall. Yeah. And then you can stare out the window.
Yeah.
So using the office space as a double header for both dining and office is what you're saying?
It's my sunshine. Yeah. Actually, that's what I do as well.
And then close it up, kind of, when you're done.
Yeah, so you can have lower bookshelves and upper cubbies as well, or if you want this whole wall of millwork, that's where bookshelves and the cupboards can be below. And then, so let me draw this elevation over here. Roll up my screen. So there's a bunch of different ways that this could look.
Just draw this.
I'm actually much more accurate on paper. This is a mostly thing.
Oh, I hear you. I tried a few whiteboards, online whiteboards, and we gave up because all of us were trying to doodle on the collaborative whiteboard, and it was so mad. Even though I have a really sensitive touch screen that's supposed to enable all that, it still didn't come out very well.
So, like I said, this whole thing can be storage cupboards and then uppers. So I'm going to draw another elevation below. Are you still with me?
Yep. I am.
Yeah, that looks great. I can
Okay.
picture that.
And then kind of low wall shelves don't have to be open, so these can all be closed with little handles, nice and tidy. And different price points too, right? You can, and then the uppers can be bookshelves.
Hmm.
This is super not to scale in my best work, but you get what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And all of this, so I'm sure that you've seen homes with lots of nice bookshelves and that sort of thing. And then
Yeah.
you can close some of these off and then you can have your little babettes
Yeah.
or whatever, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it becomes a design element in itself that's, again, worthy. What we always do is inventory of what it is that you want. Clean up that line. But you get what I'm saying. You can have all uppers and then this be open, or else the whole thing is bookshelves.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that you need to kind of keep in mind, Luca, is because you have this entire space, right? I mean, if we look at your, well, if you look at your natural way of working, like, I mean, you have like, you know, books kind of all over, and, you know, that's totally okay. And I get it, you know, it's because of the small space. But once you have more cubbies, something to keep in mind of is, just going to zoom out over here, is if you look at these two different options, right? One is you're kind of using the dining table and you're kind of doubling that as a workspace, versus one area you have more of a clear separation of work life, so to speak.
Yeah.
And this allows you, although this allows you a bit more flexibility in terms of creating a bit more open space, this allows you to have more of a separation of work life. And I feel like the challenge of using like the second option, even though it kind of allows you a bit more freedom, it might result to in you kind of filling up the space again, similar to what you have right now. So I think that's the one thing you kind of need to be aware of. Like, I mean, from a camera perspective, you know, like if you have the you know, the
So
camera
it
over
could be
here.
a nice vignette back here, depending on how you stylize it.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
true.
Right. So you definitely have that. But the one thing I am kind of worried about is, let me just bring to front. Yeah, the one
Spilling
thing,
over.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
so
think the challenge would be, I mean, it would have to be closed, like put cap fronts on, and I could close it up, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
keep everything nice and tidy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then with light sources,
So
it would
because
be
you
nice
have the
to have
window,
them
yeah,
more.
because you have the window coming in from, nope, sorry, let me just modify
You
that
can, that's
here.
my little son over there, by the way. So if you wanted to put,
Yeah, yeah, and it brings a lot of sun. It's really lovely.
Yeah, so like, I mean, from a light point of view, it's like, it's fantastic because it allows you, um, it allows for like fantastic light in front of you, and that's great. And you can already have something that's built in within
wall unit.
the wall unit over there to allow you that the lighting, because you're already getting that dominant light from over here. I'm just gonna copy this guy over here. Yeah, so you're already getting the dominant lighting from the window over here. And then by having the secondary light source over here with the camera angle, it still positions you. Like, I mean, obviously you got to mind out for that corridor, but you can, that's a slight adjustment, but it allows you for having this backspace as the main area in which you'd be viewed and framed. So that way it's less thing to worry about and people aren't necessarily looking at your entire space over here.
Yeah,
But the key thing, the good thing about this is it has a clear separation. It's like, hey, I'm in work mode. Oh no, I'm just in relax mode, so to speak. Does that
right.
make sense?
So you segregated
Yeah,
the areas. But
it does.
this one, you could have one of your monitors here. You can do your laptop work there. Again, in order to, what I do, I used to work for IBM once upon a time, and we had a clean desk policy.
Oh,
And I
love
still do that now. And
Yeah.
at the end of every day, I clean off the desk. And
Yeah.
it's clear mind and you're not seeing papers and stuff nagging you. Because
Yeah.
it's really quite stressful, all these pieces of paper
Yes.
nagging you.
It's very true.
That's the only way I can describe it. So it's also developing habits. And I've had that habit for 20 plus years. And it makes, because I do kind of live work, both Najeeb and I kind of live work, as we all do now, but we've been doing this for a long time. And that's another way to separate life work, is just clean off your desk every day religiously, park it to one side, throw it in a cubby over here or in the cupboards over here. And then, you know, again, you've created a ritual that separates work life.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I used to do that. And where the office is, it was open concept, and I always got in the habit of putting everything in our cabinets that we had, right, at the end of the day. And I like doing that. I mean, the benefit of option 2, of course, is I think I regain more living space in a way. So, because I like that option, like even the space that's currently being used as my desk area, if that was just more storage, like I could even put the TV over there, for example, if my office was in the dining room corner and closed up, and I got in that good habit. Yeah, and the other thing I guess I was going to ask you about, because this door, like if this is a condominium,
Oh yeah.
I think I'm allowed to replace this door, and I started thinking I should put in a nice glass door, at least something with even an upper window in that door to bring the light, because that's partly what is making this office area so so dark. I mean, do you think that would be a good idea, or do you think that's too much light?
Yeah, no, from a lighting point of
Big
view, I
window
think,
plus the door.
yeah, like, I mean, from a lighting point of view, I think that's fantastic. I'm just being aware of time. We gotta get going soon. But I think definitely from a lighting point of view, just having that glass, because if you notice over here, in both the scenarios, because where you're working, it's really blocked off and it's making the space darker, right? Just
Yeah.
by having that light, opens that up more, and you're going to be bringing a lot more light that's going to be just to your left side, and that
Yeah.
actually ends up being much better, and that'll actually liven up the corner a bit more.
Yeah. And
your door acts as a window, in other words.
yeah.
And
Well,
the thing, sorry to interrupt, I just wanted to explain that you need to keep your safety and security in mind. So
okay.
that whatever door you do, analyze it well. So the bottom part can be opaque, and the top part can be, but it needs to be etched or obscure glass,
Yeah,
so that
frosted, yeah.
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah, needs to be obscure glass. You can do it. You just need to manage the door properly. It's an exercise in itself. And then condominium board might have
rules around.
limited options they have. But
Right.
please do keep
Safety.
don't compromise your safety and well-being, no matter where you are, right? Even if it's a quiet neighborhood in the country.
Right.
So based on these two designs, Niluka, what are your thoughts? What are you kind of more leaning towards?
Well,
Or it could be a mix of it, yeah.
Yeah, I think actually what I might kind of do is experiment. I might first, because the first option is probably the easier one to implement, like just from rearrange some things, put the desks at the same height, because I've got the desks at 2 different heights, but I can they have adjustable legs, so I can get them at the right height, and I can just get a sense of what that's like with the screen, you know, just to see what that's like, and then if that, you know, makes me feel any different, I guess. And then, I mean, I could even temporarily just go put the 2 desks in the corner and see what it's like, just before I say bring somebody in to design and build the cabinetry. You know, just to determine which location is the better location. I can do that. Yeah.
Gotcha. Great to hear. So was this helpful for you?
Yeah, it's always helpful to get, you know, somebody's objective look at your space and to see the potential in the space. I hadn't really thought of the the wraparound lower bookcases, but I really see the value of that. And I don't think I'd been considering the sources of the light as much. I did have to give like an international panel. That was about 2 weeks ago. And that's where I was very deliberate about the light and the angle of the laptop and things like that. And made sure to set that up properly, which was not here in my desk space, of course.
Good idea.
So yeah, so and I may have to do more of those kinds of things, right? And so I hadn't really been focusing on the light piece, so that's good to bring to my attention. I had been noticing on the screen how I appear, but hadn't really thought how to address it. So I like the idea of possibly looking into some other types of lighting.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, glad this is helpful. Can't
Yeah.
wait to see what you do with the space. Hope you liked this episode of the Home Office for Success series. If you want to find out more about interior design, check out DoloresPian.com. And if you want to know more about team culture, team building, and remote work, check out Teamland.com. If you want to learn more or see more episodes, make sure to hit the subscribe button and would love it if you liked and commented below. I'd love to know what was your favorite part about this episode. Thanks for watching. See you soon.